So just to recap some of the stuff that I tried to share today that would help farmers understand what's going on in their fields a little bit better. Number one, 1% organic matter contains 1,000 pounds of organic nitrogen, 200 pounds of organic phosphorus, 100 pounds of organic sulfur, and 11,000 pounds of organic carbon. So putting that in perspective relative to the humic products that are being foisted on farmers, that might help a little bit. The other thing about organic matter is if you can increase organic matter by 1%, that allows the soil to hold another 170,000 pounds of water, which means, given the fact that on average it takes 50,000 pounds of water to grow 1 bushel of wheat, by increasing the organic matter by 1%, you increase your water-driven yield potential by 3.5 bushels. Continuing on, after water and carbon, in terms of a crop's requirements for growth, the number one nutrient that most of us worry about is nitrogen. We all know that. But the second most important nutrient is potassium. And what I didn't say to the group today is that based on thousands of tissue samples that I've looked at over the years, 57% of the tissues are coming back low in potassium. So nitrogen's number one, potassium's number two, calcium is number three, magnesium is number four, and pH actually is a proxy for calcium availability. So in this area, there's a lot of fields that have areas in the fields that are low pH, which really is areas in the field that are low calcium. And when pHs are low, nodulation is problematic, root growth is problematic because there's toxic levels of manganese and aluminum in the soil, and everything tends to gang up on the crop. When it comes to liming, another piece of information that I shared with everybody is if you have a composite sample from a field and that composite sample is telling you that the pH is 5.5, I can guarantee you that parts of the field will be 4.5 and other parts of the field will be 6.5. So the opportunity is then for an agronomist and or farmer and or coach to go out and identify the 30 to 40% of the field that has low soil pH, which is a proxy for low soil calcium. And given that that's the third most important nutrient, they can get in there with some lime, some wood ash, some beet lime, those kind of things. Turn the pH around and increase the productivity of the field for the next 15 to 20 years. Somebody asked the question about protein in hard red spring wheat, and I mentioned that if you tissue sample at the flag leaf stage and your flag leaf has 4.7% nitrogen or greater, you're going to optimize yield and you will also optimize protein. If your flag leaf tissue samples are less than 4.7, you're going to lose out on protein for sure, and you're probably going to lose out a little bit on yield. The beautiful thing about flag leaf is you still have a window to get in and put on some more nitrogen and capture all of that back. Oats, we talked about oats, and I pointed out that oats is one of those few crops, idiosyncrasy-wise, it actually requires more potassium per bushel than it does nitrogen, and oats has the highest sulfur requirement of all of the cereals. So there's two little idiosyncratic things there when it comes to oats.